afternoon at Ford Field on Thanksgiving weekend, we know one thing. History will be made today. How about the Niles Vikings here for the first time ever, taking on a team that knows this place by now. Goodrich made their first ever trip to the state title game 2 years ago and lost in 2022. They are back with revenge on their minds, trying to win a state championship on a snowy Friday at Ford Field. It's warm inside. This could be our best game of the weekend. Niles Goodrich for a Division IV state championship, presented by our friends at the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. These are the type of games that make you fall in love with high school football all over again. With former Lion Rob Rubick and Carol Lyles on the sidelines. Evan Stockton with you. You know, Rob, this game is kind of like that old SNL sketch where Mick Jagger was looking in the mirror at Jimmy Fallon. These two teams are mirror images of each other.
Yeah, they really are. I talked to Coach Scott Shaw. They're playing both sides of the football.
So there's one bell cow pretty much for Goodrich, but on the other side for Niles, you never quite know who's going to get that ball in their fun, flex-bone offense that we'll watch all day. It's a three-headed monster for these Vikings.
It's all about balance for Coach Scott Shaw because you're not predictable, Evan. You can give the ball to someone. You can run counters. You can run jets. You can run dive. You can run power. You can run whatever you want to run. It just is a great versatility as an offense, and Scott Shaw will showcase that here today with those three young men.
I think Rob just did football bingo with all of the plays that he just called, and you're going to see every single one from these Niles Vikings today. We will have history. Someone's winning a state championship for the first time ever. Niles Goodrich for a crown is next. Goodrich moving again. Mazik turns, gives. This is Burnett with some room. Spinning, staying on his feet. Chase Burnett tackled inside the 10. Sam Rucker had to save a touchdown.
This offense, it's based on three plays. You're going to see plays hit here, and we see the ones that run outside. This is going to be the inside, where it looks like it's going to be that same power outside, but it's just inside. They hit it, and now Chase Burnett does a good job of getting to the next level, making a cut, making someone miss, and then shows his strength, which we talked about in the open. So they're mixing up the three principal plays out of this offense and doing a nice job.
Give back to Burnett. Up the middle he goes, trying to lean into the end zone. He's not there yet. Fiedler made the tackle. Chase Burnett mere inches away.
Yeah, you get a good look here. He's going to fall just short of the goal line, Evan. I thought you had it on the call, but they're going to get another opportunity. I'm going to let you be the coach here. You're the offensive coordinator, Evan Stockton. Who's getting the ball?
25.
Oh, you're a genius.
Can you say
you're coachable.
Can you say that a little louder so all the people watching can hear it?
It was dripping with sarcasm, by the way, if you didn't detect that.
Still too early for my sarcasm detector, Rob. Not enough coffee. Second down goal. Mazik gives. Leaning ahead. Did he get there?
I don't think so.
He did not.
Hey, you know what's interesting is they should have listened to Evan Stockton. They don't give it Chase Burnett. They try to hit the fullback on a quick hit. And the really neat thing is, watch Chase Burnett. I want you to watch the tailback, number 25 in blue. We're going to look here. You can't quite see it. You see it from the side. Great job filling. The linebacker's coming up and just clogging. And we're getting a look here at the replay.
Remember, they can review this.
Oh, they can. But they only have the shots that we have. Try sticking the ball over the line. I don't think this is going to be overturned. But I was trying to point out is Chase Burnett never left his stance. He was standing vertical. If not the ball, he just stood there like he wasn't even part of the play. I think he's going to go back to what we said, 25 on the power.
That's what they do. That's a Goodrich touchdown. That may be the greatest player in the history of Goodrich football. Chase Burnett into the end zone again. This is going to be a sweet state championship for Goodrich, but also a little bittersweet for the Allward family. Tom, the head coach, the son is on the staff, and that is the grandson, Luke, who unfortunately last week suffered an injury. Kara told you earlier it was almost a carbon copy of the Aiden Hutchinson injury. The guys have been calling him Little Hutch this week. In the small world department, Luke Allward went to the same hospital where Aiden Hutchinson's dad works. You know, we asked Coach Allward before the game, what would winning this state championship with your grandson on the team and your son on the staff, what would it mean to you? He started answering, he stopped because he was going to cry. I think there's going to be some tears shed on that sideline in a little over 5 minutes. It is a Martian masterpiece. For the first time ever, the Goodrich Martians are state champions. It's an Oakland County title fight for a Division I state championship in one quarter. The Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eaglets, best team in the state all year, against a team that knows them darn well and wants revenge. North Farmington has lost to St. Mary's in the playoffs the last 2 years. They got a shot to get them this year with a state title, their first in school history, on the line. We've been waiting for this ball game all year, and finally it's here from the Breslin Center. The MHSA Basketball Finals on Bally Sports Detroit, proudly presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Welcome back onto the floor. We can't wait for this thing. Tim McCormick, Evan Stockton alongside our great crew. Carol Lyles on the sidelines in a second. Tim, I know there's a few folks watching this game for one man and one man alone. Get ready to see one of the best high school basketball players in America shine on a big stage, Trey McKinney.
Evan, what a treat to watch the #1 player in the state on the #1 team, and we're talking about Trey McKinney. What a special talent he is. This guy is tremendous.
Now here's the deal. North Farmington is not scared. They've been playing AAU with Trey their whole life, and they got a duo in Spratt and Williams that anyone in the state would love to have.
North Farmington is hot, they're exceptional, and everybody knows it, and they combine toughness and skill as any duo in the state of Michigan.
They got skill and they got great coaching. It's an Agosian dynasty at North Farmington for 40 years. Todd and Tom have a remarkable relationship.
When you're a little kid, most kids want to be cops and firemen and different things, and all I wanted to do was be the head coach. Just my relationship with my dad is pretty special to me now.
North Farmington, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Oakland County stand up for a Division I state championship next on Bally Sports Detroit. Todd Covert has been waiting for this day, played under George Port, greatest coach in the history of Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Played for him, coached for him, and now he's trying to get the first state title for St. Mary's since 2000. Trey McKinney, 2 for 2 to start the state title game.
The separator for me when I watch Trey McKinney, he's a beautiful mid-range jump shooter.
Works on that with morning workouts they call the Breakfast Club at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Williams off a hard Spratt screen, got it back to him, bullseye!
This full court pressure is something to see. Evan, there are times to me it looks like they have 6 guys out on the court.
More pressure, Sherrod Barnes just got it away. Intercepted by Spratt.
Trey McKinney, if you can get the ball in his hands in the middle of the court, he's got a chance to do great work.
More pressure again, McKinney for Barnes. Smith from a different area code. Yes, sir.
And North Farmington will not be intimidated by St. Mary's at all. They spent their entire lives playing AAU ball. They play together in the summer. They know each other exceptionally well.
Smith for 3. Savory rebounds. And St. Mary's can settle for a second.
There's Smiths everywhere you look here.
If you don't know whose last name it is, just say Smith. That's Smythe. No. Savory, rebound. McKinney again. Spratt on McKinney. Spinning, shooting and making it. They played together in AAU. He's still got some things in the back of his mind. Todd Agosian taking over for his dad, Tom, trying to get North Farmington their first ever state title, but they are in for a fight. Hanging with the state's best, St. Mary's, halfway through the first. You know, sometimes on these broadcasts when we call it a backyard brawl, we fib. We're not lying to you today. Orchard Lake and St. Mary's and North Farmington know each other so well. You can get from one school to another if you hit that gas pedal in about 15 minutes. They have played in the state playoffs the last couple of years. North Farmington has lost back-to-back years, and you can tell that North Farmington knows Orchard Lake St. Mary's really well. You could cut the tension with a knife in this place right now.
The over-under on number of guys hitting the floor today is extraordinarily high.
Here's Daniel Bugsy Smythe for Trey McKinney. Trey got it again. He still hasn't missed. They let the guys from St. Mary's out to watch the semis yesterday in full force today and cheering on this outstanding ball player.
Trey McKinney's a generational talent, and when you call him a leader, he's actually the vice president of student council at St. Mary's. Last year he was president. Maybe he's spending too much time working on his threes.
I was tired of everyone hating him as president. More people like the vice president. Smythe, quick trigger. Barnes flying out of nowhere for the rebound, but he lost the ball. I hope Sherrod's all right. Barnes for Hines. Gorgeous pass to Jaden Savory, blocked. McKinney's got it, working hard. Foul, back down to the floor. There's that chippiness with two rivals. Flint's finest, Trey McKinney, following in a long line of awesome basketball players from the mighty city of Flint, Michigan. You know, Tim, I heard a rumor that inside this building they used to have some guys from Flint playing some good ball.
I've heard of that.
Two schools 5 miles apart. They meet in the playoffs almost every single year. They've never played in the regular season, believe it or not. Williams pass tipped. Andrew Smith got it for St. Mary's. Barnes eyes up. McKinney up and good. That's the power of Trey.
And did you see the recognition by Barnes?
Spratt over McKinney. No call. Williams battling down to the floor. Still on this end. Both sides are going crazy on every single play right now.
Evan, I apologize. I made a really inaccurate comment earlier. I said that the over-under on bodies hitting the floor was between 10 and 12. We blew through that at the first quarter.
I think we got 10 or 12 in the last 30 seconds. Two schools that have played in the playoffs 3 years in a row. Heck yeah, they want this one. Another turnover for St. Mary's. Smith, cross-court kick, Spratt! Rebound Williams. If that three went down, North Farmington students, we're gonna make this place shake. Now it's Williams for Rob Smith, hitting the gas, slipped, lost the basketball. Trey McKinney, knocked down in the corner. And McKinney, another rebound. He's starting to rack up those rebounds down there.
When a go-to guy gets a bucket, you want to go right back to him. That corner has been wide open for McKinney.
Pass, Andrew Smith, got it again! A 10-0 run for the finest team in the state all winter long, and they are surging at the right moment and at the right time. Trey McKinney, one of the finest high school basketball players in America, shining on our state's biggest stage. Trey for three, he's unconscious. Clock rolling. Landon Williams again, kick into the corner, Morgan three, not there. McKinney, rebound and foul.
I think it's safe to say ball game.
And that's a double-double for Trey McKinney. 30 points, 10 boards in the biggest basketball game of his life. Under 10 seconds left. And another classic playoff battle between St. Mary's and North Farmington. The battle for Oakland County has tilted toward red, white, and black. The St. Mary's coronation is complete. The Eaglets